Hi folks, another video for CCNY ear training. And today we're going to look at the quarter note triplets. This has been giving students a lot of trouble. Understandably, it's a really tricky rhythm that is easier to get kind of intuitively. We know it when we hear it, but it's one of those rhythms when you see it on a page, it's very ambiguous. You don't get a lot of information oftentimes the way it's written, uh, as you would, or at least it feels like you're getting less information than a 8-note triplet, for example. So I want to dig into exactly what is happening with the quarter note triplet and what is not happening. A recent assignment looked at No la quiero ver con otro. Where is this? Let's pull this up here and take a look at the spot. So the original rhythm, right? And people did really well with this, except for this rhythm. And it's, so we're in A minor. Right, and then here, this is measure 4. And then this is where the quarter note triplet happens. Okay, so if we go at that tempo, let's pull up our metronome here. That's a little slower, but let's say right here, this is 86 BPM. 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 4. That's our tempo here. So look at measure 5, quarter note triplet, just tying the rhythm. Or we can sing it too. What is it? 4, 2, 7. Here's how a lot of people were singing this rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 7. Right? And so it oftentimes turned into a measure of 5, 4, where people were just singing those triplets as quarter notes. Right? 4, 2, 7. But of course, that's not right. You can't have 5 quarter notes in a measure of 4, 4. And also, what is the bracket of 3 about? Other people did something sort of like they would make 8 notes out of 2 of these. So they would be 3, 4, 4, 2, 7, something like that, or 4, 2, 7. Am I singing that right? Yeah. So both of those are wrong. They wouldn't be written that way. And I know that many of you just are unsure about what this rhythm means. So that's what we're going to look at. Now, how it should actually sound is this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 7. So that rhythm is ta 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 ta. So notice this is oftentimes thought of as 3 against 2, like every triplet could be thought of in a certain way, and that's what we'll look at here. But you hear this a lot, and kind of a lot of times the opposite way, especially in jazz music, fusion music, really anything that has kind of an underlying 3/4 feel. John Coltrane's quartet is famous for this, where there'd be a tempo 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ta 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 ta. That's a kind of the inverse of this rhythm. But never mind that. Let's dig into this a little bit more with some with this chart I made. Where'd it go? Here we go. So first, let's look at how the 8th note triplet works, a triplet that all of you tend to be familiar with. So in this first measure here, so we're in 4/4, the bottom is just a pulse in quarter notes. Right, those are quarter notes. And then there's 8th notes, which we all know, okay? ta 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 ta, right? For every 8 notes, break down into 2 8 notes for every quarter note. Now, if we want 3 rhythms, evenly spaced rhythms, or attacks, whatever you want to call it, a rhythm with 3 evenly spaced attacks for every quarter note, that's where we get triplets here in measure 2. Let me get my little marker here, right? So we had 8 notes, and now triplets are 3 for everyone. So ta 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 ta, so forth. So again, 8 notes, ta 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 ta, and triplets, ta 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 ta. The underlying pulse has not changed. It's still just a quarter note, right? So let's take our underlying pulse duration, or never mind if we still consider it the pulse, that we can still think of quarter notes the pulse and look at how quarter note triplets work. Here in measure 3, let's get rid of this, measure 3 down here. So this measure, sorry, there's no measure numbers, but we're looking down here. We have, let's make these half notes at the bottom, okay? So, no, so I need to go slower here. Let's do 44-ish or 40. Okay. So that's my half note. So my quarter notes will be ta, 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 ta. So now I want to make so there's 2 quarter notes for every half note, right? 2 quarter notes for every half note. So what if I want to do 3? I want to have 3 evenly spaced attacks for every half note. Then it would, right? So we have ta, 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 ta. Now it would, the triplet will be ta, 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 right? Again, we can put that underlying pulse back on quarter notes. I feel like that's actually easier. But I wanted to make the parallel of what is 3 is going into 1. So 3 quarter note triplets into 1 half note, just how 3 8 note triplets go into 1 quarter note. But back to our, this being quarter notes, 3, 4. Ta 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 ta, right? So it may feel like, and I think it's not unreasonable to just try and see how can I fit 3 evenly spaced sounds into this space, right? How can I make 3 quarter notes in the space of 2 quarter notes? That's certainly how most of us, when we see that rhythm, I think we just intuitively do that. But I want you to understand the math behind this rhythm, and I think that'll help some of you. It'll certainly make your approach to that rhythm more precise, because it is a precise rhythm, and here's what's going on. So I was just singing this bottom part, right? This is the quarter note triplet that will sound like what my voice is doing. Ta 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 ta. Right? That's right here. Ta 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 ta. That bottom staff. But it's also this rhythm. These are the exact same rhythms. the quarter note triplet is derived from the eighth note triplet. So all I'm doing is taking the string of eighth note triplets. Let's sing eighth note triplets without any of these ties. All right, so I'm just going to sing this top line as if there are no ties. Ta 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 ta. Now to make quarter note triplets, all I do is sing every other one and hold it out. So this first one, I don't need these brackets, right? Okay, so I take eighth note triplets and I sing every other attack and I hold it out. Right, so that's why there's ties. So here's eighth note triplets with no ties. Ta 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 ta. Here's the eighth note triplets where I tie every other note into the next one. Like I'm singing just the circled rhythms here. Okay. Ta 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 ta. And what's important here, or useful, I think, when I'm doing that, especially when you're at slower tempos, when it's really important for you to subdivide, but at any time really, in the back of my mind, and even sometimes I feel like it comes out in my voice or my throat, I'm thinking ta 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 ta. Okay. So you want to subdivide in that fashion there, where you're thinking ta 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 ta. Think that, but instead say ta ta. Sorry. Ta 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 ta. Right. So going back to our tune here, you see this is a quarter note triplet, and then that last pitch gets just held out, right? Let's imagine this tie isn't here, and we're at that same rhythm. 4 2 7 4 4 2 7 7 4 2 7 7 4 2 7 7. Now add the tie. 4 2 7 4 2 7. And then I'm thinking ta 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 ta. Okay. And that's how you deal with, or one way to deal with quarter note triplets, but it is at least hopefully insightful on how quarter note triplets actually work, what they're coming out of. And of course, they're built out of eighth note triplets, at least that's how I'm thinking of them. Because we're going to have more of these. You've got more quarter note triplets. It's both in this class, but it's also a central rhythm to a lot of different styles of popular music that your ear should get used to, and notice that there's subtle distinctions between quarter note triplets and other kind of syncopated rhythms, and why that's important for you to get that subtle distinction, because you might be thinking, well, if it's subtle, it's kind of arbitrary, right? But no, being able to harness that distinction really lets you hear and approach music with those different spices, right? That make a lot of, especially syncopated music, give it that buoyancy that you're really after. So now start noticing that, and you'll of course need to start performing it in future sessions with me. Great. Hope this was helpful. Email me with any questions and speak to you all soon. Take care.